The highly anticipated rematch between Oleksandr Usyk and Daniel Dubois has come and gone, and the results have sparked intense reactions from fans and analysts alike.
Now he's coming back, and I think Usyk is trying to time the counter. Oh, he hurt. Daniel's down. Daniel's down. Daniel's down from the right hand. I knew it. I saw it. I knew it. I saw it. He caught Daniel. Daniel fired back, put Usyk in the corner, and Usyk was waiting. He waited. Daniel threw, and then he got caught.
Oh! That's it! Daniel Dubois! Oleksandr Usyk has dropped Daniel Dubois! What a shot! Will he get up? He's up on his feet! He's up!
Come on, Dan!
9! And Daniel Dubois says he's carrying on!
Well, he's hurt. Let's see how
Come
on, Dan!
Let's see it!
Minute and a half left in the round.
Oleksandr Usyk drops!
It's over!
Oh, he's hurt him again!
It's over! It's over!
Oleksandr Usyk! What a performance!
Masterclass. We're watching one of the greatest fighters of all time here in Usyk. Fantastic. Punch perfect. Had it a lot to do. Put the fire out. And perfect punches. A master. All in all I can do is applaud.
Very big performance from Oleksandr Usyk. You know, I say this before. You know, Daniel Dubois come with the big pressure in the first 5-6 rounds, but Usyk is different. You know, Usyk have the boxing skills. He have a good boxing IQ. You know, he stop him.
Incredible. Gutted because obviously we want the Brit to win. You know, and Dubois put up a good fight in there.
Do you think Dubois gave up there? He looked like...
No, don't do that. Don't do that to him. Usyk was really... I don't know what's even worse. He got knocked out. Do you know what I mean? But he went and he done what everybody wanted to see.
We're watching an all-time great. Oleksandr Usyk is an all-time great. He just dismantled Daniel Dubois, who's 27 and in his prime. Usyk, crown the man. I don't want to hear anything, no slander. All-time great heavyweight.
We witnessed one of the true modern-day legends tonight in action, and he was a superb performance, winning his IBF belt back and retaining his other 3 belts. Oleksandr Usyk, for me, a heavyweight in any generation, would be an outstanding fighter.
Quick reaction. I know that tonight didn't turn out the way you had hoped, but we saw the effort that Daniel put in. What are your immediate thoughts after the fight?
He did his best. He did his very best. And his best wasn't good enough. Usyk's a great champion. He's the best in the world for a reason.
Usyk's just one of the best I've seen live. One of the best I've seen live, and what an honour it was to watch him. But Dubois will be back. How is he? 28. He's young.
27.
27. He's young. He'll be 3-4-time world heavyweight champion of the world.
Tell me, are you stunned by what you've just seen?
I'm not stunned. I know that he broke him down, right? He broke him down. He was patient. Then Dubois did, for me, looked better. Like landed some good shots in the beginning. It was going back and forth. And he got Usyk's attention, but he was patient. Feints, movement, footwork, it all came together for him.
He was unbelievable. He was on form today. He boxed great. He did the right things. He was counter-punching and he was moving well and he wasn't getting caught. And he started off with a jab, so what can you say? It's that kind of situation. It's a control violence, basically, and control movement, making sure that you don't overcommit.
Now, as the dust settles, let's dive into the takes from some of the biggest names in the boxing world, who weighed in with their predictions and insights before the fight. Johnny Nelson had a mixed outlook on Dubois' chances. Nelson believed that for Dubois to pull off the upset, he had to focus on his natural advantages, speed and power. The 27-year-old was younger and physically stronger than Usyk, Usyk, and Nelson thought that if Dubois could bring an intense pace and pressure, Usyk would struggle to keep up.
The world heavyweight landscape is completely changed massively over the last 2 years. Oleksandr Usyk is now he's in a pick and plan. I'll pick him. Might be 2 fights down the line, he's gone. The heavyweight landscape, they're looking for a new star, a new dominant figure, and it could involve Fabio. The boxing snob is out there winning now. Moses, wicked fighter, young fighters coming through. You look at how Daniel has obviously his confidence has come up. We'll see how he goes on against Usyk. Again, he may shock the world. So the landscape has changed, which again, it's very hard to predict tomorrow.
On the other hand, Tyson Fury wasn't as confident in predicting an outcome. Fury, who had faced Usyk twice, recognized the depth of the Ukrainian skill set. At the same time, Fury knew how dangerous Dubois could be, particularly with his size, power, and relentless aggression.
Final one, Usyk, Dubois, or Anthony Joshua, who would you rather fight? Just hypothetically.
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk. Because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know what I'm going to have to do, because I can't leave it go to the decision. I'm going to have to knock the cunt out. But yeah, that's the one I want. But if I don't get that, then it'd be Joshua, the biggest British fight that will ever happen. And it would break all records, and it would sell out 100,000 at Wembley in an hour. And it's a fight that I think can happen for sure if I decide to come back and the deal's right and all the other goes with it.
Karl Froch wasn't as convinced by Dubois' chances. Froch's analysis of Usyk was glowing. He considered the Ukrainian's technical brilliance and adaptability to be key factors in any potential victory. Froch argued that Dubois would face an uphill battle in trying to impose his power on Usyk, who is known for his refined tactics and ability to adjust to any challenge. Froch's belief was clear. Usyk's skill and experience at the top level would ultimately overwhelm Dubois, despite the British fighter's raw strength and aggression.
I just think it's going to go the distance, or maybe be a late stoppage for Usyk. I can see Dubois trying, maybe taking this advice, maybe getting in there with a game plan to make it hard for Usyk. But I don't think he's going to be good enough. I just don't think he's got the pedigree. I don't think he's got the skills. I don't think he's going to land a shot that Usyk's not going to see coming. So I can see it being quite a close, competitive, entertaining fight for the first 5, 6, 7 rounds. As soon as we get into round 7 or 8, you'll see Usyk start to take over, start to flick that switch, put the pressure on, put the combination punches together, and I don't think Daniel Dubois will be able to stay with him. If he does stay with him, he'll survive the 12 rounds, Dubois, and he'll lose on points. Otherwise, I think Dubois will get stopped by the fantastic Oleksandr Usyk. And I think Dubois will come again. I don't think he gets knocked out and badly hurt. Maybe he gets stopped on his feet. But this is a great fight. It's an exciting fight. And a closer fight for me than the first one.
Former world champion David Haye, who has been a significant figure in boxing analysis, agreed with many of Froch's points, but noted a few additional factors that could work in Dubois' favor. Haye pointed to the timing of the fight, emphasizing that Dubois would be fighting in London in front of a hometown crowd, which could offer a mental advantage. He also speculated that Usyk might not be as sharp as he was in their first encounter, having endured 2 taxing battles with Tyson Fury.
Daniel Dubois with lots of confidence, who's been in there, knows what it's like. You know, he's got a chart, he's got a massive shot, but how do you bet against someone who's never lost? He doesn't know what it's like to lose. But I think if there's ever a chance for Dubois to beat someone like Usyk, it's now with the momentum he's got, you know, at home. He's got everything in his favour, and you know, Usyk has got nothing. He's got nothing to gain really, because he's already beat. But he done the same thing with Tyson Fury and AJ. Gave them both rematches and done it better the second time round. So I'm really intrigued in this fight, and you know, everyone's going to be behind Daniel Dubois. You know, he's a great guy, straight down the line. But he's fighting a wizard. He's fighting someone who doesn't know what it's like to lose. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if we get another Usyk victory. But I also wouldn't be surprised if Usyk starts showing signs of age. Hard training camps, all those amateur fights, world championships, amateur, the WSBs. He's done so much, so many rounds on the clock, so many miles on the clock. He's pristine, but there's a lot of miles on the clock.
Fraser Clark was not as optimistic about Dubois' chances. While he recognized Dubois' power, power, Clark felt that it wouldn't be enough to defeat Usyk, whose technical ability and ring intelligence were superior. For Clark, the key to beating Usyk wasn't about raw power, it was about strategy, execution, and intelligence. Dubois would have to show much more than just brute force to stand a chance, and Clark believed Usyk's high boxing IQ would ultimately be the difference.
It gives a lot more. It's a different Dubois, it's a different fight. I think he gives a lot more problem. I think he's got a lot more confidence. I think he's starting to realise when he hits things, things fall over. You know, if he hits them often enough and clean enough, it doesn't matter who you are, if you're Usyk or whoever else. I know he's a tough man, Usyk, but if Daniel hits you often enough and hard enough, you break. It's very simple. It's not rocket science. Saying that, I know he's in great form and that, but this Usyk, mate, he's the real deal, mate. So no one just get giddy and get too excited about Daniel, mate. We're talking about the real deal, and Oleksandr Usyk. When he needs to be tough and tough, and when he needs to be super smart, he's that as well. But I think Daniel, with the wave of confidence he's got, would cause him more problems now than he did before, definitely.
Andy Lee had similar thoughts. He was impressed by the improvements Dubois had made since his loss to Joe Joyce, noting that his newfound confidence and knockout streak were signs of a fighter who was ready for the challenge. However, Lee leaned toward Usyk, pointing to the champion's experience and tactical versatility as reasons why he would likely be too much for Dubois. Despite the concerns surrounding Usyk's power, Lee felt that the champion's experience would give him the edge in what promised to be a high-stakes fight.
I don't know, I think Dubois has as good a chance as anybody at the moment because he's on a good roll. He's going to come trying to steamroll Usyk. Unless Usyk's got old overnight, I don't see him slipping up. It's a good fight, two good champions, and I'm looking forward to it, yeah.
Tony Bellew was even less optimistic about Dubois' chances. Bellew, who himself had been thoroughly outclassed by Usyk in a one-sided affair, pointed to the British fighter's tendency to fold under pressure. He recalled the knee injury that Dubois sustained in his first loss to Joe Joyce, suggesting that Dubois might crumble again when the going gets tough. For Bellew, Usyk's technical prowess and calmness under pressure would prove to be too much for Dubois, making the rematch another dominant victory for the Ukrainian.
We've seen them do the wrong things in the past. We've seen him take a knee, whatever have you. But the best way to explain Daniel Dubois is he's a 27-year-old veteran. He's experienced everything the boxing can throw at him. He's been dropped, he's been down, he's been stopped, and he's found a way back. And he's now on the back of his biggest ever victories. He's on his best ever run. You know, the victory over AJ was something else. For me, I think Daniel Dubois' big chance here is the first six.
He carries his power late though.
No, he does, but
slows down a bit, doesn't he?
It's not that he slows down. It's up here with me.
Well, yeah, you're right.
It's all the problems are all up here because I think as a fighting specimen, as an athletic specimen, the boy's a machine.
Chris Algieri held a more optimistic view. Algieri believed that Dubois had the confidence and experience needed to compete at the highest level. With victories over top-tier fighters like Anthony Joshua under his belt, Algieri felt that Dubois had proven he could rise to the occasion. His renewed sense of belief, coupled with a more strategic approach, gave Algieri confidence that Dubois could present a serious challenge to Usyk's reign as heavyweight champion.
But the narrative is much better for the Dubois rematch. You've got the fact that they fought, and then since then, Dubois has been on a tear, beating guys that he was the underdog against, Ergovich, and then Anthony Joshua, of course. You know, the guy has like really revamped his entire career, turned it around, gone from a guy that people saw as a quitter to being potentially the most dangerous man in the world. So you've got this narrative now that Dubois is a different guy. So this rematch will be different. Also, you have the fact that Usyk, in the ring after his win over Tyson Fury, Dubois came into the ring, challenged him, and Usyk said, Your Excellency, Turkey, make the fight with Dubois. He's a man of his word. That guy says something, There's a good chance it's going to happen. So I believe the narrative is there, for this fight, obviously, and this is one of the reasons why it's being made.
Ricky Hatton agreed with Algieri's optimism, suggesting that Dubois had made significant strides since his first loss to Joyce. Hatton saw the loss as a pivotal moment in Dubois' career that forced him to reassess his approach. Since then, Dubois had shown more discipline and focus, qualities that Hatton believed would make the rematch a far more competitive affair than their first meeting. Hatton's prediction was that Dubois would come into this fight with more resolve, making the bout closer and more challenging for Usyk.
Quickly, Oleksandr Usyk, Daniel Dubois, what do you make of that fight, the rematch?
I think it's the best fight. I think they're the best two heavyweights in the world, and there was a bit of controversy with the last time, which goes with the grain in boxing, doesn't it? A bit of controversy, but no, I think Daniel's got a better chance than he had the first time. Yeah, what with the win off Joshua, that his confidence is massively up. Well, when he fought Usyk last time, he come off the defeat from Joyce, and but now he's absolutely flying. He's got as good a chance. Better chance than he had the first time around, I think.
Amir Khan had little faith in Dubois' chances. Khan firmly believed that Usyk was simply too skilled for the young British fighter. While acknowledging Dubois' power, Khan predicted that Usyk would win, even if the fight went the full 12 rounds. He was clear in his stance that Dubois would be unable to break through Usyk's technical proficiency, and the notion of an upset seemed far-fetched to him. Khan's belief in Usyk's superiority was unwavering, and he predicted another easy victory for the champion.
Dubois, especially with the last couple of wins that he's had and the knockout against Anthony Joshua, his confidence is going to be there. He's going to start believing. He's younger, he's fresher, he's going to have a lot more to give and show. And because it's a good fight now, you know why? Because when he fought the first time, he really wasn't a name when he fought Usyk, and it's caught with that body shot. He knows he can hurt him. He thinks it was a legit body shot that put him down, but he got counted as giving him time as a low shot. But at the same time, I think Dubois now is a different fighter to what he was the first fight. So now I
agree.
I think he'll give big. But then again, Carl, fighters like that who might have more confidence, and they'll go into that fight against someone like Usyk and saying, you know what, I'm going to do this more now. I'm going to try this more. I'm more confident. I'm more of a better fighter. They're the ones that might get outclassed even easier.
Dillian Whyte provided a balanced but critical assessment of the fight. Whyte recognized Dubois' vulnerabilities, particularly when under pressure, as seen in his losses to Usyk and Joe Joyce. However, he also credited Dubois for his recent successes, which indicated growth in both skill and confidence. Whyte's focus was on whether Dubois could handle the pressure of the moment. If he could stay composed and strike at the right times, Whyte believed that Dubois might have a real shot at upsetting Usyk, but handling the pressure would be the key to Dubois' success or failure.
But anyway, I think it's a very good fight. It's a very good fight because obviously they met before. Obviously, you just have to see what Dubois turned up and what Usyk turned up. Obviously Usyk's very consistent. Usyk's very, very consistent. Dubois has been consistent, but he's had some inconsistency in his career as well. You know what I mean? Obviously the two ones that stick out is against Usyk and against Joe Joyce. You know what I mean? But obviously, but Usyk has always been consistent. This fights he's been hurt, fights he's been, wobbled and stuff, and he's such a consistent professional. You know what I mean? But Dubois has got power and he's got confidence, and right now he's flying high at the minute, so it's hard to pick a winner right now.
Prince Nassim Hamed, who brought a more positive take on Dubois' chances, pointed out that the first fight between Usyk and Dubois was far from a one-sided affair. Hamed recalled the controversial low blow that disrupted Usyk's rhythm and suggested that it could have played a pivotal role in the outcome. He believed that if Dubois could maintain the intensity and power he showed during their first meeting, he might very well cause an upset in the rematch.
Do you think both of them coming off losses? It's the fight we always wanted to see as domestic boxing fans.
Yeah, I suppose that fight is right there, and everybody still wants to see it. But to be honest, we've still got Daniel Dubois. And I was sat next to Daniel Dubois.
Triple D, baby.
Triple D, baby, all day, every day. Let me just tell you this. In my eyes, for me, he's the only one. Triple D is the only one. Daniel Dubois is the only one that's ever hurt Usyk and put him down on the floor, made him think. And he was down there for like 3-4 minutes. So who's to say that once he fights Usyk again to go out there and absolutely destroy him and bring our belts back to our country like it's supposed to be.
George Groves offered an assessment that leaned slightly in Dubois' favor. Groves, who knows Usyk's ability to dictate a fight, believed that Dubois had a real shot at victory, especially with the advantage of fighting in front of his home crowd at Wembley. Groves acknowledged that Usyk thrives when he can settle into a rhythm, but he felt that Dubois could disrupt that by starting fast, landing solid body shots early, and applying constant pressure. While Groves ultimately gave the edge to Usyk, he also believed that the Ukrainian's recent battles with Tyson Fury might have taken something out of him, giving Dubois an opening. Lawrence Okolie offered his take on Dubois as a dangerous contender. Okolie saw Dubois as a fighter with a new sense of confidence and momentum, making him a real threat to Usyk. He believed that if Dubois could maintain relentless pressure throughout the fight, he might surprise Usyk, potentially starting a new chapter in heavyweight boxing with Usyk's reign coming to an end.
Dubois Usyk, how does that go?
I'll do this every single time and say that someone's going to beat Usyk. I think at this stage, Dan is. I think it's going to come down to youth. But Dan's very, very intense. He's on a high right now. He's going to have Don Charles in his corner screaming him on. So Usyk is definitely a talented boxer. We've seen it. He's one of the best we've seen. Movement and keeping someone under mental pressure. However, if someone's not thinking about that and you're not able to hurt them, although he did stop him in the last fight, in this fight, if he comes in with that kill or be killed mentality and just keeps on going from round 1 to round 12, at some point I just think he's going to catch Usyk, and then it could be the beginning of the end. That's my thoughts. I mean, Usyk has got a black eye. We've never seen him with a black eye before. Is it because he's 37? I don't know. But I don't know. I just can't see how he's able to keep doing it.
So what were your reactions to the fight? Do let us know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe for more boxing content like this.